Okay, in this video, we are going to take a look of, yes, finding percentages of numbers, but what it's basically about is finding a use for that. And in today's society, there are tons of uses where you're taking a percentage of a number and you're going to do something with it. So the typical thing that we start out with on these sheets is, what is 25% of 350? Well, it's no different than that last assignment where you change it to a decimal and you multiply. Okay. Change to a decimal, 0.25 times 350, and it works out to 87.50. What that means is 25% of 350 is this 87.50. And if I double that 87.50 by times by 2, I would get to, say, 175. 2 25s make 50. 175 is half of that. I think I'm trying to get you to understand what percentages are. And 25% is like a quarter, because 50% is a half. And so 25% is a quarter of that. And if you take 350 on your calculator, try it, 350 divided by 4, you're going to get 350 divided by 4. Yes, you get that. Because a quarter is 25%. If that makes any sense. What you're doing is change to a decimal, multiply. And that's what you do for all these questions. Change to a decimal, multiply. Change to a decimal, multiply. Well, let's try to make some sense of that. Sometimes we go to the store and they say, hey, there's a sale on, 35% off. What we have to do is to figure out, well, what is 35% of 200? So you change your percent to a decimal, and you multiply by what it should be. So 0.35 times 200, and it's 70. $70 is 35%. Now when I look at this, it says 35% off. So what do you think you have to do? You have to take $70 off of the 200 that it's supposed to be, and you actually have to pay $130. Sweet. Something on sale, you get to take it off. In this next question, though, down here, it says use your sale price, but now you have to go to the till and add 10% tax on. So when you want to pay $130, because you've got to take the 70 off, but you have to pay 10% tax. So you're going to change 10% to a decimal, 10% to a decimal, and multiply it by the 130. And what you get is 13. Now what are you going to have to do with tax? Tax has to be added onto that. So you're going to take that 130 and you're going to have to add $13 on because it's tax. And so you end up paying $143. This math is math that you will use every single day of your life. And it's important for you to understand that really the math itself is really changing something to a decimal and multiplying. Changing something to a decimal and multiplying by the whole. What you have to grasp is now that you get what that percentage is, in this case I had to take it off. In this case, when I got it, I had to add it on because it's taxes. So the hard part about this math is not so much changing to a decimal and multiplying, it is actually, what do I do with that? Okay? And so, I don't want to do too much more of this assignment, so I'm going to rip to my notes, which should have been in the first place. Let's get there. Again, back on here for the notes. Set problem notes. So, taking a quick look at this, find a percentage of a number, do this. Change to a decimal, multiply. Change to a decimal, multiply. And you use that for everything we do. So what I did is I gave you some examples here. And it's funny because I've already taught a bunch of people and I've given the notes in. They get to a question and they don't even refer back to the notes. They just ask me for help. Look at your notes. Types of percent problems. There's tax. So Tax means you have to pay more on the original cost. Here I have 5% GST and 6%, so together that's 11%. So what I'm going to have to do is 0.11 times 45, 0.11 times 45, and I get $4.95. What would I have to do with that? I would then have to, because it's a tax, I would have to add it on to the 45. So I get 45 plus 495, and it equals 49.95 is what I'd end up paying in total. Looking at a tip, a lot of times we go for meals, and if I want to leave a tip, that usually gets added on as well, because you paid extra. So I will need to find out what 15% of the total bill is from the question above. We got it at 49.95 was the total. I should have left that on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that 49.95 and times it by 15%, which is 0.15. 49.95 times 0.15, and I get 74925. I round off to 2 digits because I'm talking money. $7.49. What am I going to have to do? Tips, they get added on. So 49.95, and you can use a calculator for all this, plus 749. And my meal ends up costing $57.44. Okay. Typically, those are the types of questions you get. Tips, tax, you add on. These are the ones that are awesome. If you get to take a sale price and take it off. So in this question, it says I bought a bike that was on sale for 40% off. Original price was $340. So guess what? 0.40 times 340, 0.40 times 340, and you get 136. How much did I pay? If it asks for how much did I get off, well, that's how much I got off. But how much did I pay? I have to take that off. So 340 minus 136 is 204. So I paid $204. Okay? Cool. Let's quickly rip through this next one. You can see that every single question that I do is changing something to a decimal and multiplying. You're going to get stuff like this. I got 80% on the test. How many did I get right if my test was out of 60? So what I got to do is find out what is 82% of 60. So 0.82 times 60. 0.82 times 60. I got 49.2, or what I would say I'd round it, I got 49 right. So I got 49 out of 60. Okay. Hopefully that helps you guys out with percent problems. Slow down, read the question, see what they're asking for, and literally almost every time you see a percent, change it to a decimal and multiply, and then the next thing is what are you going to do with it? Okay? Hopefully that helps.